What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 90s First Podcasting Network. My name is Mike, and alongside my co-host Joe, we take a look at some 90s content that we just can't stop watching. Join us on our flagship show, the 90s First Show. We look at some 90s content that Joe and I are watching, as well as some current stuff, and we end it with a 90s trivia contest. Or join us on Test Your Might, a video game debate show where we battle it out on the current news. Joe hosts as our good buddy Cicero and I try to get the high ground and go 1000 IQ against each other. If you would like to connect with us, we are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the 90s First. And finally, if you would like to support us monetarily, we have a Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/the90sfirst to show general support for as little as $1 a month. So whether you're listening to the 90s First Show or Test Your Might, Joe and I would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope that you have a blessed day.
Welcome back, everyone, to Test Your Might. If you're watching us on YouTube, you notice Mike isn't here, but if you're listening, Duck, say what's up.
Yo, what's up?
We have Justin, aka RubberDuck, in here, filling in for Mike tonight. He's going to take on Cicero. So, for those of you who have missed Duck and ready for maybe another Grindhouse movie, welcome back. For now, if you're listening or watching, leave us a review. Apple, iTunes, YouTube, write a comment, do something, click the subscribe. We're looking for just some publicity here. Share us out. We have a contest going on. Go ahead and tune into last week's episode if you have not, or check out our Twitter feed and you can see the rules for that contest. And you can enter to win $20. You don't have to do anything except for recommend us. It's free and easy. How can you say no? Right? All right. Are you guys ready for the question of the day?
Let's get it.
There's a question for today.
For today.
I don't want yesterday's question.
No. This is the 18th.
I want today's question. All right. I want today's question.
July 18th when we're recording this. The question of the day is favorite game from a genre. That genre happens to be platformers or jump and runners. Some people know them as. So, what is your favorite platformer, also known as jump and run video game? Cicero, you're up on deck. Duck, you're first.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say woohoo.
Hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Starting the fire early.
Yeah. Yeah. It is my turn to go first, right? You didn't throw a curveball.
Oh,
I threw a
no, he
curveball
definitely
right
said
there.
you.
You did throw.
He definitely said you were
I
on
just
deck.
said woohoo. Yeah.
Ooh, starting that fire off early. I see how it is. It's okay. I'll bring
he's
it back
a guest,
hot.
So guess, naturally, I generally give them first dibs. So
If you're ready, you go ahead. I got mine too, but
Oh no,
Go ahead.
please.
okay, all right. Well, then,
Please.
I'm gonna take the front lines here.
All
You
right.
sit on deck for me, okay?
That's right. All right.
My favorite platformer goes all the way back to 2004, and that's going to be the game called N. It was on Xbox.
Nice.
It was on PlayStation.
Right.
Atari made game. It was N plus. It's a little
Right.
run
yeah.
across the map, watch out for bombs, jump on the walls. It was a ninja game, but very old school looking, and it was phenomenal.
It was.
all right.
And now you're up to the bat.
Cicero.
All right. Well, he went ahead and hit a double by going all the way back to 2004. Allow me to empty the bases by going all the way back to 1989.
Ooh. All right.
Mm.
For those of you that were eagle-eared, you would have realized what I was talking about when I said woohoo. Because my favorite platformer is DuckTales.
Very nice.
DuckTales, the Disney game by Capcom of the video game version of the popular Disney afternoon cartoon starring Scrooge McDuck and Donald Duck's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. This game was phenomenal. Not a cash grab like some other games that we may be talking about later on today. Foreshadowing.
All right. You guys came out with your dates. So mine was July 16th, 2 days ago, but 1982.
Oh.
We're going all the way back in the Wayback Time Machine to Joust.
Wow.
The Joust, the official Joust game. And you know why I like it and why I chose it? Twofold. One, the game is incredible. It's so easy and also so freaking difficult.
It's very hard.
And on top of that, my son loves to play it, so we can play it together.
Nice.
I picked up
Always a plus.
the Midway pack for Xbox, and me and him have been playing Joust. So how can you knock a game like that? It's so fun. And like I said, it's easy. It's move back and forth and joust.
Flap those wings.
Yeah, flap the wings. So you can go
Flap
up, down,
those
levels.
ostrich wings.
And I love that it's a like an infinite loop scroll.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Pac-Man, for those of you who are wondering. If you go out the right side, you come back in the left side. Which makes it difficult, but at the same time gives you an escape when you think everything's lost.
Yes.
But yeah, Joust is super fun. Also, for Mike's sake, and he's not here, it's in Ready Player 2. So there's my Ernest Cline reference for the episode.
There you go. All right.
Moving on. What have you been playing? Cicero, you are going first this time. What have you been playing, my friend?
I've been playing Joust. No, I haven't. I've been playing. Actually, I just played a little bit of Wreckfest. This is the Demolition Derby / racing game that is on Xbox Game Pass. Really, really cool. And if you have an Xbox Series console, you can upgrade to 4K native and upgraded frame rate for $9.99. I think here in Illinois it was $11 even after tax. So it was well worth it, I think, for a very, very fun game. I've definitely gotten $11 worth of fun out of Wreckfest, so it was my pleasure to give them some extra money.
Skip a couple cups of Starbucks coffee, maybe even one there. And
Yeah.
you got a video game.
Right, exactly. So been playing that. The usual suite of sports titles have made their way into my brain. So the FIFAs, the 2Ks, and the shows, the baseballs.
The burning question that everyone wants to know: have you beat your son yet in FIFA?
I have beaten Roger in FIFA.
Okay.
But he right now consistently is beating me, and he's also gotten into a FIFA kick. So he bought FIFA on the PC. I don't know why he did that. Because it's like we've got like 6 weeks before FIFA 22 comes out, and he spent money on FIFA 21. So he doesn't make wise financial decisions. But what that has allowed him to do has been to get even better, to continue to get better at the game. So the learning curve, while I am still learning how to play and become proficient, he is teetering on. Yeah, he's teetering on. GOAT status. So he comes down and talks about whether or not I want to get that smoke, and I keep deflecting. Right. I keep waving flags and stuff like that. I find TV for us to watch.
There we go.
And then we don't watch me losing in FIFA. But I will beat him one day. I'll get him.
I'll get him.
But I have also one of the great things about playing video games, guys, is you can always, a video game doesn't expire, right? And when you get older and you've had a couple of relationships and you guys kind of drift apart, you don't even know why. Sometimes it's fun to revisit old flames.
Oh yeah.
See if that flame still burns a little. See if you can feel the warmth and the glow of that flame. And I was able to do that also this weekend.
Yay.
With Call of Duty. I went back to Call of Duty 4, Black Ops, Cold War, I'm gonna get you sucker edition. I don't know, whatever. Stupid.
The Cold War.
Right. Colon.
Latest and greatest.
Right. Colon. So yeah, I played some of that. They've got a bunch of new maps and they've got a bunch of different things, and it's, you know, it's all really cool. The game still plays great, so awesome. And also, you know, I smelled her perfume in the hallway and went around the corner and found my old boo, Outriders.
Okay.
She was looking kind of good. So I went and I went and said what's up. We went to Starbucks and we got some coffee and we sat down and we talked for a little bit, and it was nice. It was nice to play a little bit of Outriders. They've improved the drop rates on things. They've fixed some of the connectivity issues. There's still some work that needs to be done, and the content hasn't changed, so it has a chance of getting stale quicker for me, I think. But right now, I think I will probably revisit Outriders one or two more times in the near future. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Justin, what have you been playing?
Wow. I've been picking up the old school, because Far Cry 6 is going to be coming out shortly. I've been going back through the old Far Cries, and I picked up one of my old favorites, Far Cry Predator.
Ooh. All right.
And that's very old. Or Instincts Predator, Camo. It's not very good looking, but it was at the time, and it's still just as difficult as it was back then. Games were harder. And then I'm gonna go through 3 and then 4 and go back through all the way till 6, but that's in the future. I'm also playing a lot of Minecraft lately. Actually, I've been picking back into Minecraft.
All right.
I got a couple of buddies that picked up a realm, and we decided to get into it, play that, and building a new settlement, and and then playing a little bit of Apex, trying to get back into it.
So I like to hear.
Yeah, the last thing I did was log in and buy the heirloom and then get out, and then I've played a couple games since then. So trying to make the money worth spending by playing it again.
Needed. We need you back. Apex misses you. But no, it's awesome. I also have been playing Apex, obviously. Nothing new under the sun. Jelly plays Apex. What is new is Trailmakers, I believe is the game. And it's on Xbox. It's a Game Pass, and it might be my new favorite game.
Really?
You're basically a little Lego guy, and your spaceship crash landed on a planet. You have to go about the planet collecting ore, which is different pieces of your shuttle, and then you build different vehicles, and you can build them however you want, but you have to find and get these pieces back to these. I'm gonna call it a replicator, but it sucks up the ore, turns it into whatever piece it's supposed to be, and then that's added into your backpack, your arsenal of pieces, and then you can use those to create whatever you want, as long as you have the pieces and the power to drive these vehicles. Like, the world is at your fingertips. You can create whatever you want. So it's not like Minecraft in the sense that the environment is craftable, moldable, but you have to craft different vehicles to get over land and water and eventually fly and do all sorts of other things. And I got sucked into it. I played it for like an hour and a half the other day, and it was so much fun. It was like, it's the digital equivalent of playing with Legos, but wrapped in a puzzle problem-solving game, which is right up my alley.
Huh.
So yeah, Trailmakers for me has been super fun. And then yeah, season 9 at Apex. I'm still on the diamond grind. I'm plat 2 or 3. I think I'm plat 3. But I don't think I'm gonna hit it. I got like 20 something days left, and the way that I've been playing and the way the lobbies have been lately have not been kind to me. So that's unfortunate. But eventually, maybe next season. However, we're gonna move this into news actually. So boom, boom, boom segment news. Apex has been dropping these awesome little videos, hints towards the next season, which have been super fun for me as a big fan of the game. But also like they're such good storytellers, and obviously this is the Titanfall people, so we know that they're great storytellers. But I have been blown away by the new stuff they're putting out on their social media, these little video clips, slowly teasing the next storyline. I don't know, have either of you guys seen that yet?
Yeah, I don't play a lot of Apex, but I watch a lot of Apex stories, so I watch all the videos talking about the stories that are going on in there. Yeah, that is sarcasm, guys. No, I have not seen these. I don't know what's going on with Apex. I have not watched the videos. Yeah,
I know there's going to be a Tales from the Badlands coming soon, or the Outlands soon. I got
That's what they're
text
dropping.
message about that. Yeah, tomorrow or something.
So they have parts 1 through 3 out right now, and we're going to get the big one hopefully tomorrow as of recording on the 18th. But I'm really excited for it, so I just lumped that into the new stuff so we can talk about it. It looks amazing. The story, the teasing, seems it's got African vibes to it, so I'm hoping they're going to do some sort of African culture input, which I would just love, because that's some of like the richest, awesome, like most awesome culture that there is. I would love to see that in the game, because right now we have Bangalore, who might be, but I know that Lifeline is Jamaican, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Fans have definitely been asking for an African American male legend for a long time, so I'm definitely waiting as well.
That'd be awesome. Oh god, I'd love to see that. Oh yeah, anyways, I'm hyped on it. Listeners, I hope you're hyped on it. Viewers, I love you. Thanks for being here. I hope you're hyped on it. Moving on, though. The biggest news is the Valve Steam Deck. I take it you guys watched a little bit about it. Yeah. Man, words. Yeah. They're just going to fail me again. So, what are you guys thinking? Duck, we're going to you first. What do you think? Valve Steam Deck.
Bad name. The price point's still a little scary, but the fans have been wanting this for a while. Something to have on your couch or plugged into your TV that you're able to carry your entire Steam library with. If they pull it off, and, normally not too good on hardware, so we're kind of hoping, but, if they pull it off, it's going to sell. No matter what, they're going to sell it.
Cicero, what do you think?
So this is a product. I wonder who this product is for, or if we can speculate. I would assume that this product is for the hardcore PC player who plays strictly on PC, does not play from any of the console, does not play games from any of the console manufacturers. Primarily, specifically not Nintendo games, and wants to be able to play their games on the go, right? And so that's the demographic that I envision as the prime demographic for this product, for this console, and I don't know that demographic is that large. But the tech is awesome. The hardware is awesome. But like Duck said, the low end price point is like, whoa. Yeah, I mean, I can get a digital PS5. If I could get a digital PS5, I could get a digital PS5 for the same price.
I was like,
right.
big if.
But and then the top of the line version is more expensive than any of the premium consoles that are out. And it's, you could argue that it's more powerful, but I don't know that it necessarily is. It just has more space. I don't know, man. I like the tech, but I don't like the price. I don't know who it's for. I don't know how this becomes successful. Right? Like, maybe. I don't know how they measure success, how Valve is trying to measure success, but I wonder if it will be successful even by their measurement.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was really excited seeing it. There have not been a lot of great handhelds apart from Nintendo. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yes.
Sony had the PS Vita and the PSP.
Right.
And that's all I'm thinking. Was there other ones that I'm missing besides third parties?
I mean, there were before then, right? Like, there were before
one that looks very, very closely similar to this.
Yes.
Okay. So
which is the Sega Game Gear
third party.
Right.
There's been a lot of Kickstarter ones.
Just like, Game Gear, Sega Game Gear, and then there was TurboGrafx mobile thing, like, in the Game Boys and all of these other products that were mobile consoles.
I feel like there's enough space with, we've talked about it here enough. Nintendo has some shortfalls. I think if Valve can maybe make up where Nintendo has failed to, giving us Bluetooth, allowing us to connect Bluetooth controllers and headphones to it, making the battery a little bit bigger, a little bit better, giving us a bit bigger screen, making it easier to hold and play, better than so I have, we all know I have a Nintendo Switch. The Joy-Cons are atrocious. If they can make this thing playable handheld mode and more comfortable to hold on to, I think there's room. I think there's room in the market for something like this. I think that though $399 seems kind of steep, I don't think it's unreasonable. If it can do what they say it can do. If it's, it's touted to be your Steam library in your hand. It's touted to be able to play and emulate your Xbox via, Windows. So you can essentially have your entire Steam library and play your Xbox content in the palm of your hand. I think that's $399 seems like a pretty good place to be for the ability to do these things. Is it enough to give them a shot? Do they have enough, pull, sway with their customer base? Do they have enough pull and sway with the market? Can they get a foot in? I would like to see them do it. I don't think I'm alone there, but
so Jelly, I got a question for you. Right?
Yes, sir.
What phone do you own currently?
The Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G Ultra Mega something. It's shiny and blue.
All right.
There's a lot of superlatives at the end of that, the title of that phone. That display on that phone is pretty good.
Yeah, it's decent.
Would you agree?
Wrong aspect ratio, but yeah. It's
okay.
That stupid 9:21.
Right. Which display do you think is better? The one on your phone or the one on the Valve device?
Hands down, it's my phone. But, and there's a big but here.
Okay.
But my phone screen, I pay for that. I'm paying a premium. This is a $1,300 phone.
Sure.
Yeah.
So for
a third of the price,
almost $1,000 less, I can have a little bit less of a screen. It's not going to be 4K OLED.
Here's the problem, though, Joe. You already own the phone. You already have it.
I do.
Right now, for $100 more, you could get a Backbone One controller, or for $75, you can get the Razer thing, which is it's fundamentally the same thing. You just put it on your phone.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you can use that to play Stadia. You can use it to play Xbox Game Pass.
Sure.
You can.
You're literally,
So
you're
like
literally paying for the Steam library. That's
right.
what you're paying
So
for.
so my question again is, so yes, if this had released 2 years ago, then sure, right? Like there's an argument to be made about this, but I think besides the price point, the timing is weird to me because there are all of these other alternatives for like legitimate mobile gaming that isn't Nintendo.
Maybe. I don't game on my phone. Just hands down, I refuse to do it. I hate how my phone heats up. I hate holding onto my phone. I don't like gaming on my phone, but I do like gaming on my Switch. So if I had something that I could, play my PC games on, play my Steam library on, and port my Xbox to where I'm going to enjoy the experience, that might be the difference. But I've tried games on phones and I don't know how people play them.
Well, yes, you're right. Like touchscreen, that's for the birds. I mean, people can do it. Not for me, but I play with controllers. So if I can put a controller on my phone, then I'm more likely to play on my phone. I'm not worried about the phone getting, like, I would be uncomfortable with my phone getting hot to the touch, but I won't be touching it because I'll have my hands on the controller. So,
that's fair.
Right? So like, and it's worth, if the idea of this Valve device is appealing to you, even at the $400 price point, to me, it would make more sense to take a gamble at $75 or $100 and trying to convert your phone into a mobile gaming device and seeing how that works versus investing $400.
I know this is me personally, and I'm a weirdo. Right. So this one's for everyone out there listening. I am absolutely paranoid about my battery on my phone. If you know me, you know this is true about me. I refuse to let my battery drop below 50%. Straight up, being honest. You heard it here. So I wouldn't be able to do it, but that makes sense for everyone that's not me. As long as you're not super OCD and like absolutely anal retentive crazy about your battery, I love that idea. For me, it wouldn't work.
You could get,
I'm a weirdo.
For you could get a high-powered backup battery.
I have one. 4 of them, actually.
Yeah, right. You could get a high-powered backup battery and connect that to your phone while you're playing, and your battery won't drain.
Yeah, I have a 20,000 milliamp external, and then 2 5,000s, and then a 1200 as well. Yeah, just in case.
It'll cost you a lot less than $400. but great tech. It's great tech.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to see it out there. All right, we covered that one. Moving on. Have you guys seen the lineup of stuff coming just this month? And I'm talking just here out for the rest of the month for live events for us to tune into. How crazy is it that we're in a time where we can go to all of these, quote, air quotes for the listeners, but we can be a part of all of them. Like we get to be a part of all of these events, and all we have to do is open a freaking web browser and like we're there. I don't know. I'm kind of blown away about that. Duck, you going into these virtual conferences?
If I have time, I will, but just the click of a button makes it a lot easier to do so. You don't have to spend money on a ticket and go travel across the United States or wherever to go to an event. You can just watch it from your own home
or your phone.
Pretty easy and or your phone. It's pretty accessible and pretty easy, and it makes life very fun to have all these events just show up every month, every other month, to keep you in the loop without having to spend any extra cash.
Yeah. Cicero, you tuning in? You gonna be a part of them? You gonna be there?
Of course, this is something I've been doing for the last 7 years. So even if they weren't super accessible, I would still be trying to figure out ways to find out what's going on at the event if I'm not there myself. So yeah, of course, I'm going to have a window open for all of these things. But guys, I would say get used to this. I would say this is the way that we're going to be doing things in the future. And for those people that lamented the fact that E3 was online this year and are looking forward to E3 going back to being in person, I think you guys should get used to this being the way it's done. There was once a time when there were like seasons of television, right? When there was just one season. And the season was 26 episodes, and
I love those days.
You had a season, and it would start in the fall and would end in the spring of the following year, kind of like school. And then during the summer, you would get reruns, right? And there were sweeps weeks, sweeps months, where they would have special episodes, and they would get guest stars and do all that stuff. Then all of a sudden, there started to be fall seasons and winter seasons. Then there started to be summer seasons of shows. Then there started to be winter seasons of shows. Now there's shows that are just streaming, right? So there's no seasons. They just show up.
Yeah, and they give you whole blocks. You don't have to wait for an episode.
Right.
How weird is that?
Shows just
you don't have
show
to wait
up.
For commercials.
Right. So like
I do like that. No commercials.
Yeah,
Keep doing that.
and while things have changed, right? They have changed ultimately for the better, because not only do you have choice, but you have the ability to consume the content when you're ready. And from a publisher standpoint, from someone who is publishing the content, you get to control your narrative when you want to control it. And the same thing is happening in games and games media and games information dissemination. The studios and the developers and the console manufacturers, the platform holders are going to be able to control their narratives, and they're going to be able to more importantly, control the news cycle when they have these individual events during the course of a month or a year, during the course of the year. There's 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks left in this month, and the amount of things that are coming up is staggering. We've got EA, we've got some big news coming out of Ubisoft. I think there's some more Microsoft news that may be coming up.
Yeah,
there is lots and lots and lots of stuff coming up down the pipe, and I'm definitely here for it, and I think the companies are also here for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It has been really cool. Obviously, I was a big proponent of go back to the old ways. In person is better, and partly because I'm a huge people person, I feed off other people's energy. That's how I get energized, is being around other people. That's made me sound like a parasite. Hopefully, I also feed into other people and give them energy. But I am energized by others and being around other people. So for me, I would love to be around people again. But having the ability to tune in like this whenever we want, to get the information, a day later, 2 days later, a week later, a month later, whenever it is, but choosing that and having the ability to be there live when they tell it, wasn't ever an option. It was always a costly option before. Yeah. Thankfully I live in California. So for me, things like that were generally a little bit closer, because all I had to do was go down to LA. But
it was still gated out of, you had to be part of the industry.
Exactly.
In E3.
There was red tape keeping us out, and they've gotten the understanding that, hey, more eyes is better. It doesn't matter the people reporting on it so much as long as everyone sees it, then they can form an opinion themselves. And it seems like they're given that opportunity, which I think is awesome. Just really, really awesome.
Yeah.
I threw this one in the outline for funsies, but did you guys see that somebody purchased Skyrim for $600 at auction?
No, I did not see this. Please explain.
somebody purchased for $600 Skyrim. Mind
What?
you, this is the game.
Like an unopened game.
And
Yeah, just
for what's like for PC, for Xbox, for PlayStation?
no idea. Didn't read that far enough into it because I was just shocked that that someone would spend that. It's free right now in Game Pass if you just want to play it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to. Sorry, you do have to pay something. You have to pay
It's included with your subscription to Game Pass.
Yeah.
$10 or $15 a month, whichever one it is. But it's like,
Right.
that's a
Yeah,
pittance to.
They paid at least $585 to me.
Yes, I was just blown away. I saw that and I was like, no way. Like, that's like me selling my old socks and someone wanted to buy them. There's people
What's the
out
same
there,
as
they're not for sale.
that Super Mario 64 that sold just recently as well. People want the nostalgia unopened box. They already have a copy for themselves. They're gonna buy it for money and for reselling later on.
But like there is some logic to buying a cartridge for a console that only accepts cartridges.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And having that thing and saying, hey, I've got this thing that is unique and rare and can only be operated if you've got this contraption.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, hey, this is a piece of software that is widely and readily available in a digital format. But I spent, I overpaid by at least $585 for the physical copy of this piece of content that is readily available to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. I could have gotten an Xbox Series X and a Game Pass,
right,
and had dozens of more games and Skyrim to play.
That is correct.
But I decided to buy an unopened copy of Skyrim for $600.
Bananas. That's what that is.
The correct response is what you put in the news, LOL. So
I did put that in the outline because I literally laughed out loud at that.
Yes.
This week we are skipping rapid fire, so we're moving straight into test your mic.
Trinity Hope, let's go. Let's get it.
I just
you only have one shot.
I feel like the Skyrim was my rapid fire, and then I talked about Apex because I have an obsession. But now we're going to talk about who's going to win. So who's going to win?
Test your might.
The listeners are going to win.
Absolutely right.
Agreed. Jelly's going to win.
I feel like I lose every time, bro. Sure it seems like it's easy to be a judge because all you have to do is make a decision, but that means you have to call people losers every single time. It ain't easy, unless you don't have like a soul, then maybe it's super easy to make people feel bad, but I feel bad. So yeah, I also gonna say people are winners though. So who's gonna be the winner? You guys ready?
Right.
I'm ready. Here, stretching out, flexing up. I'm not arguing. What am I doing? All right. Question number 1. No Star Wars games will be announced at EA's event. So what I want you to do is pitch the Star Wars game we need them to announce. What Star Wars game do we need? What should they announce? What should it be? What is that missing piece that we're looking for in our game library? Obviously, it's going into everything day one. So what is it? Justin, you are our guest, and therefore you hold the power. Do you want to go first, pitch first, or would you like to pass over to Cicero and let him pitch first?
I'm gonna let Cicero go first. He was jumping the gun earlier. I think he's ready to fight.
All right.
Let him take a swing.
Wow. All right. Well, here's what the Star Wars game needs to be. It needs to be a multi-world, open-ended detective game set in the Old Republic era-ish.
Okay.
With a Jedi counselor as a detective who is going around trying to solve different crimes that have happened, and he's just going to different worlds trying to discover those crimes.
All right. More on that later. Justin, what is the Star Wars game we need?
Well, I was thinking for myself. That is very interesting, Cicero, and I would play that. It does sound good. But for myself, I would like a brand new Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer Horizons 7. Whatever it's going to be called. A new age pod racer with 4K graphics. Yeah, Forza Pod Racing. With 4K graphics, you know, customizable vehicles, new tracks.
120 frames per second.
120 frames per second. Day one, you know, it's going to be racing to your heart's content with customization.
Now that's
and having
pod
the old
racing.
school. Exactly. You know, you'll have all the original characters and then some. And I really think that a new age Star Wars racer with the, you know, sound effects and Dolby Atmos, it could hit some thread in our hearts that we don't really feel that much anymore.
All right. Fight it out. What you guys got? I like both these things. Sway me.
Right.
Sway me.
So what I will say is he did hit something, you know, with Dolby Atmos and Pod Racer, like sonically, that would sound incredible. If you've got a system set up for that, it would sound incredible. But you know what else will sound incredible is hearing the different dialects of all the different creatures. One of the things that we love about Star Wars is the universe that it creates, that it's created for us, right? But we spend so little time in the ancillary worlds. Like we go down the main street of a planet, but we hardly ever wind up going down some of the side streets. We never hit the proverbial back alleys of those planets and areas. And this allows us to do that. This allows us with a Jedi that we don't really know, but we can learn. We can go down the different, like, just the different pathways and just dive deep into the minutia of some of the different species that exist within the Star Wars universe, within the galaxy, and then, you know, just find out about different locales. And what's going to be cool is hearing those different accents, hearing the sounds of speeders going by. Also, it will, of course, be utilizing Skywalker sound, so it's going to sound great, and you're going to be able to use very different force powers. So, like, we've done a lot of combat stuff, right? We've done, force pushes and all sorts of things that have been great. Like, they've been a lot of fun. But wouldn't it be fun to lean into, like, some of the mind tricks, some of the charisma stylings of being a Jedi, some things that you do before a fight. And that's where this detective game would kind of come into play, where you can use a lot of these other things besides fisticuffs, and really become one with the Force as you're going out into the whole breadth of the Star Wars galaxy.
All right. More on Forza Pod Racing.
To Forza Pod Racing in a second. First, I want to throw a little jab over here. It sounds great. It sounds great to have this detective going through all the different dialects and going through all these universes and going under the cover and shade of what we've seen in the Star Wars universe, delving into the books or whatever, the backstory that we can. But nowadays, you know, a lot of that dialect, a lot of the speaking would be subtitled in that game. It would be a slower paced game. Not a lot of action, maybe some action in some of the detective work, but not a lot. Nowadays, the thing that draws people in the three most recent Star Wars films is the action, is the sequences that are going to shoot you in the eye and you're going to keep watching. So if you're driving a pod racer, flying a pod racer around the track, you got sand people shooting at you, Tusken Raiders shooting at you, you got pop-in people from all around the world racing with you and racing against you. That's going to be some action with the sound, with the vehicles, with all the different environments that you're going to go across that you don't get to see in the movies. That racing game, customizing, action, fast-paced, not arcadey, more a little bit simulation, I would say, because you're able to customize that ride to your liking and keep it going all the way around the track until you win. That's what fans want nowadays. They want those action sequences. Yeah, you can get the backstory. Yeah, you can get the slow-paced storytelling in all the Disney Plus shows you can watch. But fans, when they play a game, they're gonna want to get that action in their hands. They want the fast-paced thrill, the ride, and that'll be pod racing.
All right. Dang it. Yeah, so here's the deal. Cicero, his game sounds better. I want to play Cicero's game. Not to say pod racing doesn't sound great and fun. I love that you added other places, the customizability, throwing old and new school into it. But I want to say the detective, the compulsion, the using more than, force pushing, pulling, throwing objects, that's just telekinesis. We want to know what's deeper in the forest. I really like that about it. I would love to go into the, just dive deep into these worlds to get to know them a little bit better. I think Cicero did a great job of just splaying all that out. Like Cicero did a great job. I want to play that game. It sounds like it's going to be like 300 hours, but I want to play it.
EA, call me.
EA, call me. There it is. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. What a game. I was a sucker though for pod racing. I loved pod racing on the 64. I got to play it on my buddy's house when I was younger. He had like a 60-inch TV, which back, I'm not super old, but back in the day that was big. Like he had a big old
plasma.
It was one of the rear projection
still
TVs.
Huge.
Yeah, plasma.
Yeah, it was
still huge.
It was amazing.
Heavy.
But yeah, so much nostalgia with pod racing. I would love to see a revamp though. I don't think that there's any reason that they shouldn't. I can't imagine to be that hard to. I mean, the graphics aren't super crazy. EA
and quite honestly, there's something that they could do now that they couldn't do before, which is multiplayer racing.
Oh god, that'd be so. So
like
you could do on the same system, N64. Right. You could do a 4v4.
Right. You could couch. You could do couch co-op, but to do it multiplayer, to be able to have like 8 humans controlling pod racers in a race, and then you could also do. Justin, here's where you may have been able to beat me if you had said something about a level creator, or a track creator.
Oh, that would have been neat.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like
if you were able to look at the map in the scenario, whatever world you're on, and do that'd be interesting.
Right. Yeah. So you could make a track creator that people would be able to play.
Mm-hmm. That'd be awesome.
I think,
I don't know if it would have won it, but it.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
It definitely would have put it. It would have made the decision harder for sure.
You pitched that perfect, Cicero.
You made an excellent pitch. It was could not win in my opinion. All right, so this one I'm excited for because we talked about it already, and I was on the opposite end, but I'm not part of this one. So, Steam Deck versus Nintendo Switch OLED. I thought we had a clear winner. In the show notes I put we have a clear winner, but I'm wrong, or at least I'm outvoted here. So I thought we had a clear winner. How do we make the Switch the winner? So what changes do we need to see now to any? And we're going to change up the question. So
okay,
it's I had Steam Deck as a clear winner.
Right.
inside baseball and listening. Obviously, I thought it was a knockout. Just boom, out the park, home run. So we're doing Steam Deck versus Switch, or Switch OLED, or whichever one you want, whoever gets the Switch. Cicero, you actually won. So Justin, you're up. You get to choose. Do you want to defend the Steam Deck, or do you want to defend the Switch? And then the pitch is what changes need to be made to make it the superior handheld. So which do you choose? Steam Deck or Switch?
Is it the Nintendo Switch OLED, or is it the Nintendo Switch as a whole?
Isn't the only difference between the Switch OLED and the Switch and OLED screen?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can defend the Switch as a whole if you like, but know that the only difference is organic LEDs versus
Yeah. I'll pick the Switch.
All right.
I'll have fun with this one.
And so Cicero, you're automatically defending / making. And here's the thing: you get to make it better. You get to pitch how to change it to make it the best. So essentially, you're just giving me the best possible version of what you can. Cicero, you're on deck with the Steam Deck. Ha! Dad jokes for the win. Love it. You're welcome, listeners. Don't hate me, please. Justin, you're up first. Nintendo Switch. Why is it superior?
Nintendo Switch is number one in the handheld, and it's been number one in the handheld for a very long time. I don't think anything's going to dethrone that because of the nostalgia that people buy it for. It has any Nintendo game, that you are looking for, any Mario game that you're looking for on it. And yeah, they might be cash grabbers, but they've got the power of their nostalgia under their belt. They've got all of the Zelda franchise on there that sells so many consoles just for a game. And I don't think, they need to add or do anything to be dethroned right now. I don't think anything that the Steam Deck could bring to the table would dethrone the amount of sales and the amount of popularity that Nintendo has. If Nintendo were to see the backlash of the OLED and how they wanted to get the Pro, all the fans wanted a Pro, a 4K, they're still going to sell them regardless. And a year down the line, they'll make a 4K, and we'll buy that one because that's what nostalgia is. They've got the fans behind their back. They've got the money to make those choices of waiting a year or two when they really need to, or if they don't need to. It's all up to them, and they have it all in their hand. So they have control over all of us and our choices regarding the Nintendo franchise, because we'll buy the same game 10 years later just because it has an updated graphics. So I don't think Nintendo needs to do anything. They're in the top right now.
All right, coming out strong in defense of Nintendo. So Cicero, what does Valve's Steam Deck need to do to take the top spot?
Well, I mean, listening to Duck's argument, his defense of Nintendo was spot on. Like you can't argue even that like Nintendo fans are going to come for Nintendo. But the question is, which piece of hardware is better, right? Like, how can I make the Steam Deck from Valve equal to or better than the Nintendo Switch OLED? It's lowering the price so that it's the base model of the Steam Deck is the same price as the Nintendo Switch OLED, because that's all I can do, right? Like the software library are dramatically different, and where you place your value on that software depends on who you are as a gamer. So if you're a PC gamer and you want to be able to play your PC games on the go, then the Steam Deck has more value for you. If you are a nostalgia-based gamer or a gamer who plays Nintendo IP, then the Switch OLED is a no-brainer. The difference between the two pieces of hardware is that at the same price, it is undeniable that the Steam Deck is the superior piece of hardware from a a CPU standpoint, from a memory standpoint, from, maybe not necessarily a display standpoint. The DPI is probably going to be better on the Switch OLED, but but the Steam Deck's going to have Bluetooth. Duh, we're done. We're done. I don't have to plug things into my handheld device because I live in the future, right? And this device was made for humans who live in the future. So that's the only thing it needs to do is lower the price. Price parity. Steam Deck is a no-brainer when it comes to one piece of hardware versus another piece of hardware.
All right. You want to hit back there a little, Justin?
Yes, the hardware from a standpoint, the specs is better than the Switch, but the Switch doesn't need that to thrive. They don't need that. The games that they have, the fans that they have, make it the superior handheld. It doesn't need that power. It doesn't need the Bluetooth. It doesn't need, it would be nice, but that doesn't make it a superior handheld. What makes it a superior handheld is the content it brings. It's not just the hardware. It's all of the software. Everything that it has on it, that's what makes it a superior handheld. Not the specs.
Yeah. I'll say this much. I can only talk for me. But, usually reasonable people agree with me. So I will say this much, that if they were the same price and I had to buy one of those devices, I would 100 times out of 102 times buy the Steam Deck from Valve. Simply because I can use Bluetooth headphones and a Bluetooth microphone to listen to and communicate with anyone while I'm using that device. And while it may seem trivial, and I definitely play it up for laughs, I do think it's egregious and offensive that Nintendo has decided to build not one, not two, but 3 mobile devices, mobile consoles in a row carrying the Nintendo Switch badge, and have yet to address that. Everything has Bluetooth. Everything has Bluetooth. I could get playing cards with Bluetooth in them, but I can't get a Nintendo Switch. I can't get a mobile console that the company is selling me to take on the road to be in a Starbucks. I can't sit and play that and have my headphones on without plugging it in. That's ridiculous. I gotta buy a third-party option to get wireless connectivity in 2021 on a device that was made in and designed in 2021. That's ridiculous. And Justin, you're 100% right. The fans, Nintendo doesn't have to do it. They don't have to do it because the fans will come out and they will buy the thing. And if you come out this week with an orange one with Yoshi on it, and then next week you come out with a green one with a toadstool on it, people will buy both of them, right? They could regress the features on it and people will still buy it because it's Nintendo. But that doesn't make it right.
But it does make it superior.
It doesn't make it superior. It makes it the thing that people will buy, right? Just because more people buy it doesn't mean it's, listen, I'll go back to one of the highest selling movies of all time is Avatar, right? Mm-hmm. But there's no way in the world that you can tell me that Avatar is better than, The Matrix, right? The box office is greater, but the movies aren't better.
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't make it's superior in sales, but not superior in quality.
All right. I like that. I was I had a different fight in mind, obviously. But this turned out good. Justin, you defended the Switch admirably. Better.
I wanted to have fun. Yeah.
I say better in fact than I thought you would, and than I thought was capable. I obviously thought Steam Deck was clear winner from the get-go, so I had to remove my biases and go based on the arguments alone. I think based on arguments alone, on just the arguments, I think Steam Deck still wins, but only because Cicero had to lower the price point.
And the Bluetooth.
And he added the Bluetooth. he changed. Obviously, he changed a lot. That was part of it. I said pitch it. You defended the Switch as it is, which, again, I thought was admirable because you didn't change it. You chose not to do anything. And you're right. As it is, the Switch is obviously the clear winner for sales, for popularity, for attention, for everything. Switch wins everything right now. They are, as of right now, the superior and probably will remain and reign king for mobile gaming. But if Valve listens to this, if you listen to this, and if you take Cicero's advice and choose to lower your price point to make it competitive with the Switch, that means at least $349.99, which is what the OLED will be. You have to at least put it there. That's the top for your base model.
It's $50, yeah.
I think they can take it. And then the fact that nobody mentioned Nintendo's lack of online anything saved the day. So that would have obviously swayed me a lot towards Steam Deck, but Cicero didn't mention it this week. He has mentioned it multiple times in the past, as we've clearly covered. So I think Steam Deck, if you changed a lot about it, which Cicero you did, wins it. The pitch changes. Definitely won the argument. As it stands, though, Justin, you're 100% correct. The Switch is gonna, obviously, I think it will reign king for probably ever, until Nintendo drops a mobile console with a new name. I don't know what it'll be next time. The Nintendo Flip, something weird. We'll see what it is. But
copyright.
The Nintendo U, and it's sponsored by Soldier Boy.
Please.
This is a partnership with Soldier Boy.
Nintendo, tell them. I take it back. Please don't listen to this. Jeez. All right. Next argument. Oof. There was a Netflix data mine dump, and it showed that there may or may not, but may be a partnership with Sony. So, if that is true, what specific PlayStation property, IP, would make the best show or movie? And you can pitch either one. I clearly am a show guy because I love dialogue and all that boring stuff. But sometimes movies are the way to go. Sometimes that's the better avenue for something, and it doesn't work in show form. So what I would like you to do is pitch me the Sony IP that needs to be made into a Netflix specific show or movie. Cicero, you won the last argument. So again, Justin, you have the power to choose. You can allow Cicero, words are hard, Cicero to pitch first, or you can choose your IP first and pitch first.
Yes, sis, go ahead.
All right. You sure?
Yeah, I want to hear what you got. Go for it.
All right. I mean, this is
I took the fun choice last time, so
this is a no-brainer for me. This is the Horizon Zero Dawn live action television series. This is, I mean, like it just kind of writes itself, right? You've got You've got, Native woman as your lead character. There are lots of people of color throughout the primal indigenous groups. So that's going to be great television. But also you've got this weird kind of like, it's familiar but strange world and story with these like robot dinosaurs that are an energy source for the humans. So it's important that you can, hunt them, but also preserve them and all this other stuff. And just think about how incredible, given what Netflix is able to do with their budgets. If you guys have watched, actually this was an Amazon one, but you think Netflix has more money than Amazon. I was just thinking about the Tomorrow War and how the aliens looked in that, and they, it was cinema quality. So imagine cinema quality effects for a long running series where you're making your CG robot dinosaur thingies with the grids and the vertebrae and like the fuel cells and all the stuff. Man, that's a slam dunk. That's a can't miss. Awesome television show.
Sounds good. But Justin, what have you got?
All right, so Horizon Zero Dawn. Haven't played it yet. Have it downloaded. Haven't touched it. It's a good game. I've heard good things in my book. But you know what I have played? Something from a little bit further back. From back in the 1990s, actually. 1995. There was a game that came out that blew my mind.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
Now, have you ever seen Ralph Breaks the Internet?
I've seen Ralph Breaks the Internet.
You have seen Ralph.
Very good movie.
Seen the scene about Slaughter Race.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the through line in the movie.
You remember the awesome visuals that were played in that scene of explosions, car destruction, mayhem.
Yes.
The inspiration from that came from this game. Twisted Metal.
Right. All right.
Right.
We're going to make a TV show is what I would like to do. Now, back in the game, there was a story. If you didn't know, it wasn't just a demo derby.
Right.
This guy named Calypso brought in all these racers.
That he did.
Sweet Tooth, memorable. Axel, my favorite.
Yes. On the bike.
Spectre, all the good ones.
Yes.
Imagine a TV show shot like Mad Max race scenes. Live action, car destruction.
Right.
With backstories on the characters. Winning a tournament. Similar to the Mortal Kombat movie that just came out. New Age, action, Mad Max, fire, explosions. So much race, so many power-ups, whatever they need to do to bring that game to life. On the big screen, on the little screen.
Right.
A TV series that shows you those characters that you care about, and you watch for those characters to see who wins.
All right. I'm on board for that. So I have not been, because I do not have a PlayStation, able to play Horizon Zero Dawn, but I do understand it. Give me a little bit more about this series. I like what I'm hearing so far, but
so before I give you a little bit more about my series, I just want to talk about how great the pitch was from Duck. That was a great pitch for a Twisted Metal TV series. Bro, that's awesome. And I would love to watch it. And I think that the guys over at Sony Pictures should do something like that. And had you said this on February 20th, you would have been an awesome dude, because on February 22nd, they announced that the Twisted Metal game or Twisted Metal television show is in the works from the writers of Deadpool.
Oh, wow.
So your prayers, your dreams have been answered, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that's awesome.
Right.
That is awesome news.
So, so I'm happy to put a smile on your face while also destroying your argument, because the thing that you're asking for, the thing that you're pitching, the thing that you're pitching has already been pitched, and they're feverishly working on it. But what they're not feverishly working on is a Horizon Zero Dawn live action game. So, full disclosure, I still haven't played the game, but I know what it's about, right? It's
all right.
This young woman named Aloy or Aloy or Aloy.
A-L-O-Y.
Yeah.
Aloy.
Yeah, whatever her name is. Listen, you don't like how I said it? Come at me on Twitter, but that means you're listening. So thanks for listening and yelling at me. That's awesome. Let's do it. So she is a youngster in this like post-apocalyptic, extinction level event. Post this extinction level event, Earth maybe, where humans, there are few humans, but now they're, instead of dinosaurs, like actual dinosaurs, they're like robot versions of dinosaurs, and they all have power cells, and they have parts of their body that are of value to the humans, and then there's also some like religious component or something like that. There's something that ties into their culture. So like these are things that we can learn as we're watching the show. And like there is this rich history there, but the visuals, right? Like the visuals are what people are really going to gravitate towards, because you're getting a little bit of the 100, right? Where it's young, beautiful people in the like foresty wilderness, right? And there are going to be different temperate zones. So there'll be the snow and arid areas, but a lot of it is kind of like green and lush and foresty. But you're having all of that happening, but also your wildlife is artificial, but also sentient, right? So like,
sounds creepy and weird.
That is weird, but it can be done super well. And watching shoot arrows at these things and climb these things and like have to run from these things is gonna be incredible. And as she travels throughout the world and you get to meet the different cultures and the different tribes and see what they're doing and interacting with them, that's going to be part of an amazing adventure that we'll all be able to take together.
Yep, I'm on board. I'm super excited that Twisted Metal is actually happening. That's so cool.
Yes.
Duck, unfortunately, via DQ, your show exists or is in the making. Technically, you win because they made it. Also, for sake of the argument, you kind of have to lose because it's already being made, which is weird. This might be a first. So we have two winners. Cicero technically wins the argument, but Duck wins in real life.
There you go, man.
Netflix and Sony, if you're listening though, and you wanna do Cicero's show,
Horizon.
He needs some credit. So credit where credit is due. All right, moving on. That's a weird one, a fun one. I'm down for Horizon Zero Dawn though. I think that
it was between
badass show.
For me, it was between Twisted Metal and Shadow of Colossus. Both of them are phenomenal. Would make great movies or TV shows.
Shadow of Colossus would make a great like weird CG movie,
like a trilogy or something like that.
Yeah. Next time we're coming back with it. All right, on to the next one. So Psychonauts 2 is adding an invincibility toggle. They believe that everyone should be able to enjoy the game. Huge deal for accessibility, but is it something every game should have? We're going to argue that. I have feelings about this. So my biases put aside, you guys get to decide. Invincibility mode. Whoo, words are difficult for me today. Invincibility toggle mode. Duck, are you for it? Are you going to defend it? Or are you against it? And heck nah, get that out of here. Which do you...
I'll defend it.
You'll defend it?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, defend away, my friend. Defend away.
I think that, growing up, there's always been cheat codes. There's always been little hidden things that anyone could find out or be told from the word of mouth, because that's how it was back in the day, for all you listeners that are older. There's always been ways to tip the scales on the game. Because games were harder back then. There had to be ways. But
Way
honestly,
harder.
nowadays, cheats can put them in. It makes the game easier and accessible for the younger audience. If you want to set your kid up and he wants to play a game that's, say Minecraft, it's got cheats in it. Say Ark, put some cheats in it. Let your kid go and have fun and not have to worry about dying, not have to worry about freaking out. Yeah, it's not going to give them the best life experience, but it's going to allow them to enjoy their time playing the game that dad plays all the time. It's going to give them the time of day to enjoy just a sliver of a game that is way too hard for them to play. Think of Demon Souls or Dark Souls. Someone wants to play that can't do the skill set, can't learn the moves, or can't get good. Allow them to go through. Don't give them achievements, whatever they have to do to make sure that the people that actually put in the effort get what they deserve. But allow the people that can't put in the effort or don't have the time to put in the effort to enjoy the game as well. They're going to boost sales, number one. Number two, they're going to have a larger fan base because the younger audience is going to be able to play it. I think it's a good thing to have in a game. It's always been in older games, the older generation. Why not bring it into the new generation?
All right, Cicero.
So a cheat code is one thing. Invincibility is another thing. But even cheat codes as Duck described them are terrible, terrible additions to games. And here's why, right? So let's talk about some of the examples that he gave. He gave Ark Survival. So Ark is a game that it's a multiplayer focused game, and this game is like you playing as a caveman and trying to get better as a primal human, a primal being. And you don't get better if someone just gives you everything. And it's quite honestly, it's not fair, especially in a game with a cash shop. It's not fair that somebody's like, oh, I'm invincible, and now I got all the stuff because I can beat all the things. You can't do that in multiplayer games and think that you're going to keep the player base around when some people are utilizing stuff like that, and other places they're not. Let's talk about Dark Souls. The whole point of Dark Souls is the mechanics of understanding the timing and understanding how difficult the game is. That's the point of the game, is that it's difficult. And if you take that away from the game, then you don't have anything. You just got a bunch of grotesque monsters. And that's not a game personally that I want a little kid playing, is, like some Lovecraftian horror show. Like that's not cool. Certain games, look, there are barriers of entry to all sorts of different pieces of entertainment. And sometimes some things are not meant for you. They're not made for you. And if you don't have the ability to unlock and to be able to appreciate a game like Dark Souls for rewarding you for understanding how difficult and respecting how difficult it is, then that's not a game that you should be playing. Because that's the entire point of that game, is to be able to respect how difficult it is and to continue mashing your head up against the wall until you can figure out a way to actually get through that wall. And if you just If you're just invincible and you can just phase through the wall, then you're looking at the game and you don't respect the game anymore. And you're not respecting the designers of the game. You're not respecting the time that it took them to design these monsters in a way to challenge you appropriately to play those games. You don't need the invincibility. You need to get better at those games if you want to be able to play them.
All right. Quick rebuttal, Justin?
Yeah, we can go back to Ark. You know, I think of it more as a creative mode, maybe only PvE in that mode. You know, it's a separate column that you can go into or set someone into that doesn't want to put in the work to collect everything and build up your character. They just want to go in PvE or tame creatures, creative mode Minecraft. That's what it would be. As for Demon Souls, not everyone has the time to do that. You're not disrespecting the game by beating the campaign. You're enjoying the story when you don't have time and work to put in to learn those mechanics. You're still enjoying the entire game by going through that story if you don't have time. For the stay-at-home dads, for the times you don't have time to sit there, learn the mechanics, but you still want to enjoy the content. You bought the game, you want to enjoy it, you don't have time to put in, go through it, enjoy, get to the end. Say you beat the game, no achievements pop because you used cheats. You used the invincibility, but you still enjoyed the entire playthrough because you got to finish that game.
All right. Final thoughts there, Cicero?
You know, I'm a big guy. I'm a big dude, right? And there are a couple of ways that I can become a less big dude. I can exercise, I can eat right, I can hit the gym, hit the weights, lose some weight, take some time, right? Get buff, get fit.
Get buff like me, brother.
Right. And I can look better. I'll wear smaller clothes, I'll be able to shop at different places, that kind of stuff. Or I can go to the doctor, get gastric bypass surgery, lose a bunch of weight really quickly, right? I can get into smaller clothes. I'll be smaller. I'll look smaller, and I'll look the part. But you know what doesn't look the part and doesn't feel the part is my heart. My heart is still working as a big guy, working for a big guy, because I didn't put in the work to work on my heart as well as my body when I got the gastric bypass surgery, as opposed to when I'm working out, where I'm working all of my body. That's what you're saying about these games is, oh yeah, you can do the campaign and you just don't get any achievements, right? But you don't appreciate the struggle of having to go through the campaign because you fast-tracked your way through it. You cheated your way through it. And it just doesn't hold any value. It doesn't mean anything to you, right? So when you look in the mirror, right, and you're looking at your body, you're probably going to look at it with clothes on if you've gotten gastric bypass, because your skin is still flying all over the place because you did it quickly. It's not something you're going to want to look at. But if you put in the work, right, and you do it the right way and you work on your body, then you'll look at yourself and you'll say, I did that. Not I paid for that. I cheated my way through. That level of pride, that level of respect, that level of appreciation you have for what you accomplished will make it mean more because you didn't cheat yourself and you didn't cheat the games.
All right. I'm flapping in with my bingo wings here.
There we go.
I was swayed. So I was on the side coming in that it should not exist. I don't think that invincibility mode should be a thing at all. I was with Cicero 100%. Justin, you swayed me. I think you made great arguments for there being an invincibility mode, or being, it's especially because the reason you won for me is because you said it won't be the same game. You get the equivalent of playing it without getting accolades, without getting the credit, without getting all of that, but you still get to experience it and enjoy the story of it. I think that was the swaying thing, because you were right. There are times when you can't put the time and effort into things like that. I have been in those places. I've done that. That's why I still have yet to step into Mass Effect, even though I have it. I haven't stepped in because I know that what it's going to do is it's going to take away from my time. And it's not the fact, like, I obviously love a hard game. And which is why I was on the side of invincibility bad. You need to earn it. But you made enough points for me to believe that as long as you're not getting the same credit for those who actually did earn it, if you get to experience the same thing, that is cool. So yeah, you swayed me. And turns out I'm the judge. So congratulations. You swayed the judge. All right. Cicero, I agree wholeheartedly. Especially if you're getting credit for stuff. And if you want to feel accomplished, do it the hard way. Put in the sweat, put in the blood, put in the tears, put in the effort. And I promise you, promise you, you will respect and enjoy what you've done way more. It's how it works. I mean, you can at me all you want on Twitter. I'm telling you right now, if you put in the effort, if you put in the work, you will respect what you get, your outcome. You'll respect it and appreciate it far more. With that said, I mean, it would be cool to be able to play a game and kind of blow through it and get to experience the story. I don't think it would be the same, though. I'm not going to argue that. But I do think that it is a cool feature and would be really neat on other games.
For the record, I am Team Duck and Team Invincibility. So
good argument.
You argued it well, because I was not.
It's like the Switch with me.
Yeah, I was not on board with that, but here I am, a believer, just like I have Game Pass now. In part to the two of you, actually. Ironically enough, thanks guys. I am finally paying for it myself. I've paid for it for 2 months now.
All right.
Once in between, because yours ran out and Duck was like, "Oh, he needs it," and I was like, "All right,
yes, you need to have it. That is correct."
So you know what, gentlemen, I think we're gonna leave it right there. We're gonna call it.
All right.
Thanks for being here, Duck. Thanks for stepping in when Mike couldn't be here. It was a great night. Great arguments. I was swayed.
It was fun.
And I'm excited for more. Duck, please come back. Listeners, viewers, thank you for being here with us, for coming back, enjoying this content. That hopefully you're enjoying this content. Obviously you came back. If you did love it, share it with someone. We want you to share what we're doing here with your friends, with your family, with anyone. And if you didn't, tell them it was good. Lie. I'm telling you right now, it's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay to lie. But
you're allowed to embellish, though.
Yeah,
you are allowed to embellish.
You can hate watch us all you want, as long as you're watching us
or listening.
True.
That is true.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Bye.